Numbers like wizards casting spells in gray. No legend, no guidance, just chaos on display. Sorcery's trolling in their usual way. Confusion's a language they fluently speak. Chaos is their spell while the rest of us seek some sense or a clue. It's a guessing game twist. They laugh in the shadows like, do we exist? Players scramble, drowning in doubt, trying to decode what it's all about. They toss the dice, then walk away and pout. You forgot the rules, well, that's what they're about. Shadows like, do we exist? Do we exist? They don't take the game serious, that's their disguise. Each chart is a puzzle with riddles that rise. And bewilder, they're sly like the wind. You think there's a method, but there's none within. Confusion's a language they fluently speak. Chaos is their spell while the rest of us seek some sense or a clue. It's a guessing game twist. They laugh in the shadows like, do we exist? Scrolling through the chart they dropped today. Numbers like wizards casting spells in gray. No legend, no guidance, just chaos on display. Sorcery's trolling in their usual way. Confusion's a language they fluently speak. Chaos is their spell while the rest of us seek some sense or a clue. It's a guessing game twist. They laugh in the shadows like, do we exist? Players scramble, drowning in doubt, trying to decode what it's all about. They toss the dice, then walk away and pout. You forgot the rules, well, that's what they're about. Guess disguise. Each chart is a puzzle with riddles that rise to mock and bewilder. They're sly like the wind. You think there's a method, but there's none within. Confusion's a language they fluently speak. Chaos is their spell while the rest of us seek some sense or a clue. It's a guessing game twist. They laugh in the shadows like, do we exist? Scrolling through the chart they dropped today, numbers like wizards casting spells in gray. No legend, no guidance, just chaos on display. Sorcery's trolling in their usual way. Confusion's a language they fluently speak. Chaos is their spell while the rest of us seek some sense or a clue. It's a guessing game twist. They laugh in the shadows like, do we exist? Players scramble, drowning in doubt, trying to decode what it's all about. They toss the dice, then walk away and pout. You forgot the rules, well, that's what they're about. Confusion's a language they fluently speak. Chaos is their spell while the rest of us seek some sense or a clue. It's a guessing game twist. They laugh in the shadows like, do we exist? Do we exist? They don't take the game serious, that's their disguise. Each chart is a puzzle with riddles that rise to mock and bewilder. They're sly like the wind. You think there's a method, but there's none within. Confusion's a language they fluently speak. Chaos is their spell while the rest of us seek some sense or a clue. It's a guessing game twist. They laugh in the shadows like, do we exist? Scrolling through the chart they dropped today, numbers like wizards casting spells in gray. No legend, no guidance, just chaos on display. Sorcery's trolling in their usual way. Confusion's a language they fluently speak. Chaos is their spell while the rest of us seek some sense or a clue. It's a guessing game twist. They laugh in the shadows like, do we exist?
What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. Hope you enjoyed the soundtrack. Yeah, I was gonna call it Collector's State in the opener, but I was like, let's not get too political and everything here for the break. Let's not get too political, right? The break's about fun. The break is about alpha, beta, and finding pulls. So, not too political today. But one thing I wanted to show you guys is this is one of the only Wave 3 boxes I'm going to crack. I got two to be exact from distribution. I was allowed to get two, which is good. I don't really need it. Just goes to show how difficult it is to get it from distribution when it's available at Team Covenant. One interesting thing I wanted to point out though, guys, no sticker on the bottom I noticed. And check this out. This is the beta. This is the alpha. Check out the size of the stickers. The stickers have definitely changed. I don't know, let's say like a Wave 1 beta sticker, if it's bigger. I think it was. I think the stickers changed. Trying to see too if you can see the shade of, yeah, there you go. You can really see that, the vibrance of the box between beta Wave 3 and alpha. I mean, the box is a tad more vibrant. You can see it maybe more. Well, it's a little hard to see there if you look at the cards on the top. Anyhow, we got a ton of folks in. Here's how many people are in this opening, guys. Here's how many people are in the opening. It's a ton. So throwing a little bit of information out there for Gauntlet, the Golden State Gauntlet event. We're actually going to donate the extra 3 alpha packs today to the Golden State Gauntlet event. I'm going to send Emmett a whole box here of stuff. I got playmats, I got sleeves, I've got all kinds of stuff I'm going to send him along with the 3 alpha packs from the top. I'm getting 2 kits. I got 2 kits myself, but we have those extra 3. Let me I'm getting distracted. The music's a little loud in my ear. Yeah, a little better. You guys out there? Wave 3 had no topper. Oh man, the codes on Wave 3, the topper. What the heck's going on? You might see another market video get released in the coming days. You know, it'll be kind of on the neutral side, guys. It won't be quite so heavy-handed, and it won't be quite so positive. It's like neutral. It's just like, you know, my thoughts and fears going into Gothic. So interesting too. Just the sides and differences, because this is it, guys. The other box of beta Wave 3 I opened was so bad, I just started like flipping out. So I'm like, I'm not gonna post this. So let's crack this. I got everybody up on the wheel. Actually, let's go through the wheel first. We've got the Dark for 1, Satori for 1, Mad Cows for 2, Eat More for 2, Vin for 3, Kevin for 1, Veldora for 2, me for 2, Sean for 3, Noble for 1, Garrison for 1, Don't Know for 4, Jester for 2, Doug Fur for 3, Thepsis for 1, Duncan House for 2, Surffish for 1, Raz for 2, and Rise for 2. So Rise does a lot of stuff here in Pittsburgh for Sorcery. We're gonna go ahead, same thing as usual. Dust for the first 2 spins, toppers for the last 2 spins. I got a new blade going on here, so we finally retired the old blade, and this it's what I use to do all my housework in. So it's also, guys, I'm kind of see-through today too. I was intentionally trolling. Are you guys ready? Oh man, is this thing sharp. Man, you can't make a mistake. That'll cut right through the cards. Speaking of, I don't know if you guys saw, if you go out to my Discord, how I mentioned how this came from Germany. So I didn't pay for these boxes. We had a fan of the channel who said, I want to see these alpha breaks continue. It's been a while, so please keep the breaks going. So he sent me boxes, a whole case for free, and I'm paying him as we go, right? So that way we're not having risk of holding, all that kind of stuff. German Customs, slit that thing open, slit a box open, slit a pack open. German Customs literally tested the goods, and they pulled a Mix Aqua. So, thought that was kind of wild. The little person house. So, yeah, I thought that was kind of wild. The tiny blade. Oh boy. It's like for, you know, for like blade like work, you know, you're cutting carpet, doing those types of tasks, you know, laying carpet, cutting flooring. Cutting flooring. I'm just going to put these back in the box because it's going to be hard to keep track of everything. So let's put these here. Let's put these here. Yeah, German Customs is absolutely the worst, guys. Like, it is horrendous. I've never seen anything like it. German Customs is the worst, actually. What happened to the dust? I'm going to have to whip out a dust from over here and give it to you guys. What in the world? Somebody tell me. Oh, there it is. It's over here. All right, we're good. We're good. Dust lost. Dust found. Dust and found. Okay, these are the wave 3. Dust's over here. Wave 3, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to keep the alpha on screen. I don't want to be some shady Pokemon whatnotters. You guys know what I'm talking about. Those shady Pokemon whatnotters. All right. All I can say too is what this says the blade. That's right. That's right, Matt. All I can say to you guys is my official stance on everything is I'm not quitting sorcery. I'm not stopping collecting, but I'm going to be very intentional with what I do collect because I'm not sure that everything that we think is collectible today is actually collectible. And I'll talk a little more about that, but I'm not gonna stop, right? So like, I still have very collectible pieces. I have a foil courtesan. I have a foil roller. I've got the couple alpha curios. I've got an alpha non-foil. All those things are like not going anywhere. But when you're starting to look at, you know, how do I want to put this? There's a lot of cards in Arabian Nights that are very easy to find, right? Not the whole set of Arabian Nights is incredibly collectible. So I'm going to be making decisions and shifting my focus to the things that I think are truly collectible. So we've got 1 alpha, 1 beta, 2 dusts. Let's shuffle up the wheel. Everybody see your name on the wheel? Okay. Gauntlet's on here. Remember, Gauntlet event this month coming up in California, Emmett's event. Brian Smith's going to be there. Check it out. Like I said, I'm sending a bunch of stuff his way. Don't forget about that. Don't forget about Shard Bugs. Kickstarter ends tomorrow. They're on their way to like 5xing the original goal, so they're doing very, very, very well. And I did launch a new website so that I will be able to offer Shard Bug singles directly through my website. I may even shift breaks to that website in the future, guys. So there's going to be some changes and things like that. And I was mentioning in the chat, I even started to get an account to be able to post albums to Spotify and Apple Music. So some of the music that we do on channel, you can actually go out and listen to it on Spotify. So I didn't really post much content this week, and I did some other things behind the scenes instead. So let's go ahead and shuffle them up. Couple things behind the scenes. Check out the website though, Philosopher.cards. Kevmo already placed an order. He already placed an order. Look, I'm like see-through. I should get one of those uniforms that's completely see-through. Okay, so you get one alpha, one beta. We're going to examine wave 3 because, like I said, unless I get more through distro, I am not going out there and buying it from Team Covenant. I'm not going out there and doing things like that. It should be going to the stores. It should be, you know, I pretty much I gave away, I either gave away or gave away at the price I paid for all of the starter decks that I got. And if I'm giving it away, I didn't make $4.5 million on the Kickstarter, right? So like, just questions, why aren't we giving out starter decks, guys? Why isn't that printed to oblivion and we're handing it out, right? That type of just easy stuff, easy wins, guys, easy wins for growth, that type of thing. All right, you guys ready? Good luck, everybody. Lots of folks, before we hit spin, I'm gonna just put this down here. It's my organization. The max in this break's 4 packs. Don't know's got it. Yeah, this might be one of the most we've had in a box opening because there's just nobody bought like 6 or anything like that. So this is one of the more populated ones. So there we go. Let's go. Good luck, guys. Good luck. Good luck. We're gonna go this way. We always go this way. We always go right to left. Of course, Raz gets dust. Raz and dust. All right, we'll start with an alpha. Start with an alpha. Multiple LGSs have wave 3 in the UK. Yeah, and that's awesome. I mean, it's good. It should be in the LGS. That's what it was for, right? It's for going to the LGS. It's not for singles. There's plenty of singles out there. That's what it's supposed to be for. Raz. Okay, you got the Legion. I don't know if this is a top box, bottom. German Customs messed up the whole box. I have absolutely no idea what we're dealing with here, guys. So I'm just letting you know. Hey, Neon, what's going on? Yeah, hopefully we get some good pulls. All right, this is wave 3. Check that out. You can really see, like, it is indeed more vibrant than 2. Call to War, Diluvian, Bolt, Grapple, Wave Shaper. Look at that. Let's just check the back. Opening, it's like waving back to front. Check out the cuts though, guys. They got some new blades. The cuts are better. Like, look at that. The cuts are better. So, Raz, you were first. You got some dust. All right, let me bring my mouse over here. My mouse look at how much I've used this thing, guys. You can see how worn down the plastic is, but it just keeps going. All right, Raz. All the way from Germany, this case, Jester. Good luck. Oh, please. Oh, you got a foil. Ah, I had to know. I had to know. All right, Jester, you got a foil, though. Oh, and you got a Cerberus. That's awesome. All right, Cerberus is good. That's a good one so far. That's Standing Stones. All right. Very nice. It's actually like... it's like really clean too. Let's leave you up there. There we go. Yeah, that looks really clean. Good hit. Cerberus. All right. Good pack there, Jester. That's awesome. Again, just be intentional with your collections. That's all. That's my warning. My warning is be intentional. Right, because some things that you think might be collectible. Oh, Jester. This is when, as a Pokemon Whatnot streamer, I take this off camera, guys. I take this one off camera right now. There's a Brian Smith. Little Omen. The Bolt. Look at how clear. Look at the quality of that, guys. Look at the choir. Sir Fish. Look at the fire. You can really see that one too. Standing Stones. Oh no, that's the alpha. That Standing Stones was alpha, but you're gonna like... Oh, Undertaker. Nice. I thought you might have had a ultimate. She might have had an ultimate, but 2 elite foils. 2 elite foils are not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. There we go. So you can really see that's the... Look at that. That's wave 3. That's looks really good. Jester, you got the other dust too. That was excellent. Jester, that was really nice. Really nice. All right, now we're off, and there's no gimmies until the end. No gimmies until the end. Garrison coming in for a snipe. Okay. I don't want to bump anything. Oh, there we go. Windmill, and that's what I thought the other one was. Ultimate. Scarabs. Bangle. Little imp. All right. Oh. All right. Look at that. You can really see on the crossbow there. I mean, I know Summer was nice with the crossbow, but like, look at that one. Like, if you haven't seen Wave 3 yet, that's a perfect example. The resolution looks pretty wild. You know, there's a Vantage. Mercenaries. This might be my only Wave 3 opening. Just soak it in. Soak it in. Garrison. All right, Garrison. This one's a fun one. Oh, wait. This one's a fun one just because there's so many different people in it. Gauntlet, no beta. All right, this one's going to the Gauntlet. So if you want to open this one, you got to go to the Gauntlet. You got to win. Done. Go into the Gauntlet. Yeah, crossbow's nice. All right, eat more. Good luck. Good luck. Happy to be back doing some sorcery with you guys on Friday. Unlikely. Okay. Mad Dash. Porcupine. Border. Troll. We gotta check it because like I said, I don't know. I have no idea what box is which. If you guys go back, you can see it on the channel, on the channel on Discord. All right. The Gauntlet, the Golden State Gauntlet. It's an event here coming up at the end of April. I think on the 26th. An event at the end of April that Emmett's putting on out in California, and Brian Smith's going to be there. So that's I'm sending some prize support. Candlemas. Yeah, it's beautiful. Wave 3 does look great. All right, eat more. Look at the albatross. Like, oh, Doomsday Device. Like, even like you can really see the flames and stuff inside there. Common Sense. Warriors. Pirate ship. I mean, look at the pirate ship. Look at those reds and the vibrantness. Okay. Eat more. Good. Is this another Gauntlet? Gauntlet. Act 2 Gauntlet. All right. All right, we're going to remove that off. That one's going to the Gauntlet. If you want to open it, you got to go to the Gauntlet. All right, Vin, good luck. Vin had some crazy Vin hands yesterday pulling that foil witch. All right, Vin, let's see it. Oh, you got a foil in here. Manticore. We're going to slow roll it. I'll move all that stuff. Slow roll it a little. We got the Extinguish. Okay. Leopard. Boy, I have no idea what this is. Could be a Grim Reaper. I don't know. Could be a Grim Reaper. Oh, a Spire Lich. All right. Haven't seen a Spire Lich in a while. Okay. Beautiful. Don't forget too, all the bounties are live. So we still have some bounties. Okay, wave 3. You can really see Vin. Look at that. Look at that Unland. Grill. On this $20,000 camera. You can really see it. I mean, you can really see everything. Drown. Trolls. Okay. All right, Ben. There we go. Spire Lich is not bad pool. Yeah, release the Braum. That's what we're after. Noble, good luck on your snipe. Good luck on the snipe. Like, you can really tell the difference between Alpha now and Beta Wave 3. Pirate Ship. Porcupine. Trolleys. Yeah. Yeah. All right, wave 3. Look at that. Look at that Undyne. Look at that wave 3. Look at that. I mean, it really is stunning. I'm not doing a wave 3 set though, guys. I ain't doing it. Upstart Recall Mix Air. All right, nice Mix Air. Riptide Scourge. Very nice. All right, Noble. I ain't doing it. We got a Mad Cows coming in. Mad Cows? Yeah. All right, good luck. Might have a foil. I couldn't tell. Nice windmill. Far East. Yeah, look at the difference in the Albatross, for example, if you remember that other one. Wicker, Scourge, Bolt, Blink. Okay. Oh, I'll wait until we get the beta. Where you at down there? There you are. Found ya. Happy Friday, Noble. Look at that chain. Like, look. You can really see just the resolution. I mean, it looks really good. Crater Eyes looks good. I'm gonna see some, like, fibers in that. Wall of Ice. Lampreys, Pirate Ship. And the Flame Caller. Alright, Mad Cow's nice. We got a Sean or an Eat More? It is a Sean. Good luck. Come on, Sean. Oh, we have a second Cerberus. That has to mean something. And a Trolls. A second Cerberus. Why do we have 2 Cerberus in here? Okay. All the cool kids. It's a little, there we go. I'm gonna say it's a little tight in there, Sean. All right, Sean. Little redemption after that Arthurian Legends here. Come on. Give him some redemption. Basilisk, Trinket. Okay, some Forge. Wolves. Like, look at that heat ray. Belmont. Sleep. Surveyor. Look at the river. It's like, I mean, pretty nice, guys. Pretty nice. Okay. I'm surprised that German Customs didn't open every single box, because German Customs is pretty horrendous. Tim, good luck. Good luck, Tim. Carchemish. You got a foil? Is it a foil boil? It is a foil boil. Another Brian Smith. I like this in alpha. Maybe I'll like it in wave 3. I don't know. I don't know. There we go. You caught up. Give him another foil boil. Let's be able to compare that. Well, nice ruins. Look at that. Look at that depth of color on that thing. Mask, Incinerate, Dead, Vile Imp, some more River. All right, 10. Lots of people in this opening, which is fun. This is a P cards. It is a P cards. All right. Yeah, I still buy into these. Still buy in. All right, PC. Ast and a little Grandmaster. All right. Sandstorm, Scarab, Sandworm, Trojan. All right. All right, what do we got? Divine Healing. Frogman. We got the muzzle. We got a foil coming in too. Bolt. Firebolt. Old Salty. Oh, and a Daryl. And a Daryl. This is wave 3. Look at that camel on wave 3, guys. Oh, oh! The stars have aligned, and that's what a good roto masking looks like, guys. If you're curious, what good roto mask? Look at the bats. Roto masking. If anybody's curious. All right, little Daryl. Daryl foil. PC cards. Don't forget, guys, Shard Bugs and Samara. That's your chance to get into the first edition. Doug Fur. Good luck, Doug Fur. Hopefully this is a good one for you. Their second master tracker too in alpha makes no sense. 2 Cerberus and 2 master trackers. Oh, nice lighthouse. Look at that. Haunt, Thunderstorm. I mean, look at those. Just look at them. I mean, they look great. I can't say a thing. Extinguish, Monster Hunter. The quality and the gameplay and the art is not something anybody's critical of, right? Those things, there wouldn't be a person alive that's critical. All right, Doug, for a nice Monster Hunter. All right, what do we got? Vin. All right, Vin. Okay. Oh, we got a foil Vin. Great old one. Nice. Good hit. Midnight. And a little Belmont. Belmont. Beautiful. And a little troll. Let's trick the troll. All right. All right. Little Belmont. Okay, we got one. Well, we got 2. All right, Ben, let's see this last, see this one here. Look at that Mariner's Curse. Like I said, nobody's saying these cards aren't beautiful. Nobody's saying that. Coral and a little Bone Rabble. Even the Bone Rabble, guys. Look at that. Wave 3 looks good, guys. I mean, like I said, definitely not... my criticism has nothing to do with the quality of anything like this. Very good. Then Propane. That's great. Sean. Come on, Sean. See some heat behind this big guy right here. Come on. Okay, we got the Abundance, Rolling Border, Pudge, all right. Buffalo, Surveyor. Come on. Sedgies. All right, all right. All right, Sean. Beta bonus. Beta bonus. Dodge. Minecart. Look at that minecart. Flame Wave. Drown. Okay. All right, Sean. All right. This Satori or is this PC? PC, my last one. Well, let's see if I go out with a bang here. Scavenging. Okay, a little Jester. Scarecrow, Bury. Warriors. Alright. Nothing crazy there. Let's check the beta bonus round. Some nice, beautiful, vibrant Bannerman. Buried, Polymorph, Fade, Caravan. Fenvale, Sandstorm, Buffaloes. Okay, nothing crazy, guys. Oh, yeah. Okay. Don't know. First one. Good luck. Yeah, that box of diapers had some good pulls in it. Okay, a little replication. Don't know. Extinguish. Rollies. Yeah. No. All right. Come on. Come on, Sling Pixies. There's a foil in here. Fire. Look at that. Hounds. Yeah, Disenchant. Bedrock. Beautiful Bedrock. Beautiful. Workbench. Beautiful. Beautiful. Don't know. That was good. All right. We got Veldora. No, don't know. That threw me for a loop. All right. Don't know. Come on. Gilded. All right, we got one. Border Militia. Sleep. So far, nothing too crazy here. Huh. Gold Foil Heroes, I think, pulled a Curio. I think he pulled Eric's Curiosa Wave 3. I think. Yeah, maybe hit 2. Alright, don't know. Let's see it. Let's see it. Belfry. There's a weird sound shuffling these around. Weird sound. Alright, don't know. Alright. A spear, that's right. I forgot he hit a spear, Noble. You got that. Rise? Good luck, Rise. Alright. Come on. Alright, we got sorted. Rain of Arrows. Wall. Something looks weird up there in that title. I don't know why. Incinerate. Major. Okay. Come on, Rise. Alright, we got the wind. We got some wind. Cursed. Another tracker. Azurage, Ravens, Wicker, Bats, and a tower. Okay, okay. You only know, Mike, because it'll be in the back slot, right? It'll never be in the front slot. It will never be in the front slot. Ever. Gauntlet? Duncan House. Duncan House, good luck. That crossbow. It's definitely not a wave 3. Wings? A little obelisk. Clansman, Wolf. Sedges, okay, okay. Duncan House, let's see it. Let's see it. Frontier. Crossroads. Golden State Gauntlet, guys. Don't forget. You're out there in the California area. All right. All right. And the bugs, I will carry bug singles, relatively cheap. So, if you need it. Satori. You need to finish your bug collection. All right, Satori, let's see it. Come on. Aqueduct. Okay, Hydra. Scorpions? Zombies? Okay. Alright, look at that voyage. Look at the resolution on that thing. A little Witherwing. That one's still up for auction, right, Mike? Boss Troll. Look at the back. You can really see. Oh, what am I doing? It's wave 3. I'm doing that so you guys can see the vibrant nature of wave 3. Satori? Alright. There's got to be a monster pool Lumen Vin. There has to be. Duncan House. Okay, we got the Earthquake. Dead of Night. Okay. Yeah, we got the frog. Look at the frog, guys. Look at the frog. It's wild. I mean, the globe. Vipers, trolls. Bone rabble. Okay. Alright, Duncan House. There has to be a monster something hiding, because it's just like, what in the world? Both boxes. We haven't hit anything crazy in either box. We've got 2 elite foils that were on pack 2. That was it. Don't know? Alright, let's see it. 2 elite foils on pack 2. That was it. Primordial. I'd like to see a little core foil here. We haven't seen one of those on the channel in quite some time. Heaven forbid a big old P stone. We got a foil of some kind that's interesting looking. Maybe it's a... I'm not going to say. Oh, Donnybrook. Okay, boss troll. Come on, come on, come on. Boom. Look at that thing. Look at that thing. Don't know. You got a good one there. Holy cow. Let's just take a moment and see the shine. Jeez. Looks good. A little smudge in the center of it, but other than that, it's very vibrant. All right, Donna, that was pretty good. Foil Observatory, we'll take that every day. Every day. Something's in the air tonight. Don't know. This is your last pack, I think. Yeah. It's your last one. Good luck. Summoning? Nightmare? Okay. Wicker? Oh, Porcupine Siege. Exceptional weapon, an engine of war. Alright, Siege. This is just to take a moment and admire the rotomasking on this one, guys. Admire that rotomasking. Alright, don't know. Great old one. We got one in alpha now and one in the beta wave 3. Fade, Muse, spin. Okay. Alright, don't know. You got a good run. That's not bad. Couple uniques, little elite foil. Not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. Mad Cows. Coming in this your second pack, I believe. Good luck. Oh, little Elementalist first avatar we've seen. Come on, you hit the Tadpole pull foil or foil any avatar, and well, except this the sword, the box topper. You get a Mage Tech deck box. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. At the end of this video, we're going to roll for the beta bags. The beta bags giveaway. Vaults. So stick around for the end, because you might win a beta bags if you did what you needed to do with the beta bags. You did what you needed to do. All right, Mad Cows. Beta bags for all your stuff. Beta bags, you can't get enough. Jester, not too Not too crazy. Beta bags. Beta bags. You too can hold some heavy bags. All right, Veldora. Good luck. Good luck, Veldora. No, Dome. It doesn't come with diamond hands. The deck box doesn't, but the beta bags does. Beta bags does come with diamond hands. Beta bags for all your stuff. Guys, if you didn't see the beta bags, you got to go to my shorts and watch it. I posted a short on April Fool's. Beta bags. They are the bags that you can carry all of your heavy beta bags around. All right, we got wings. Look at that beautiful sky and wings. Oh, Courtesan. Veldora, that's a good pull. Fairy. Explosion. Okay, two uniques. Ain't too bad there, Veldora. Trying to preserve some history. Surfish. Surfish coming in. Little snipe. We're due, Surfish. We're due for something. But don't forget, guys, stick around. We got the beta bags raffle to do. Beta bags. For all your stuff. Nordic Druids. All right. Trolls. Oh. Incinerate. Beta bags. All right. So far, guys, unless these good stuff are in the unless the good stuff's in the Golden State stuff. Doug Fur. All right. Good luck. Unlikely. Mortality. Okay, nothing crazy there either, guys. The sorcery gods are mad at me. Marine, beautiful. Chaos Twister, again, beautiful in wave 3. They're a little off center though. Everything's a little centered too low, I think. Fire, teleport, or maybe alpha's off. All right, Doug Fur. A nice looking pack here. Look at that. Then you might have one of the best looking alpha packs of the box. Oh, we got a foil in here. You got one of the best packs. That best looking. Coral Reef. Oh, you were trolled. Oh no. Oh no. Then. All right. All right. We got the step. Beautiful step. Beautiful Quagmire. Beautiful turtles. Drown. Beautiful summer. Right, Ben? Sean, your name is very large. You're very large on there. All right. Cobalts, come on. We got the Wanderers. Jeez, guys. Border Militia. Sandworm. Men. All right, we got Blaze. Oh, Vibrant. Lucky Charm, Manticore. Rain. Come on. Oh, man. Rebel. All right, Sean. This is one of those boxes where it's really good that nobody bought a lot of them because, yeah, well, one of the two boxes. Kevin coming in for the snipe. He's been laying in wait this whole time for a foil. Wildfire, some monkeys. Come on, give it to him. Give it to him. Pirate ship, a little Vantage. Okay. Vantage isn't awful. It's not a bad hit. Kevin, little snipe. I like it. Beautiful. Beautiful. Pudge, look at the pudge. The vibrant nature of that pudge. And battlefield. Senties. Yeah, alright, Kevin. Not bad foil there. Not bad. Jester. Jester, come on. You got a foil too. Come on, be a good one. Jester, you so far had the best pack of the video. Pack number 2 was by far the best. Oh no, guys. Come on. Scarecrow. Jeez. Ostral. Jeez. Oh. Jeez. Scarecrow's the biggest troll. Jeez. Best foil so far is probably Observatory. Well, beta foil. Alpha was definitely the Standing Stones. It's like really miscut. Look at that. Overpower Wall of Air. Okay, jeez. Jester. Okay. German Customs definitely messed with these guys. 100%. Ra's al Ghul. Alright. Definitely found a sorcery fan in German Customs. Alright, a second elementalist. Wall of Air. Alright. It really did. It really did. Look at the haunt, guys. Look at the quality there. Jeez. Aqueduct. Nice observatory. Incinerate. Land surveyor. Alright, Raz. We're all taking a beating together. Now, this one might have something, because look at that. Oh no, but we might never know. Oh no, it's going to eat more. Yeah, this one's like... Look at how tiny this is crimped on the bottom. Well, I guess it's crimped really tiny on the top, too. Usually it's, I'll show you on the beta. It's usually bigger. Alright, we got the Bane. Come on. Oh, Pillar! Alright. Not bad. Not bad. Okay. A little Pillar. And then... Oh, it's slightly bigger. I guess I can really feel it better than you can see it. Like a feeling. Oh, Foil. Sisters. Beasts. And the mermaids. Guys, we're getting... We're getting a rough time today. Rough time. Rough time. Eat more. Alright. Well, at least 3 people are going to win a mage tech box. Veldora, there has to be something in here. One of these 2 boxes has to have something. Veldora, okay, we got a foil. We got a flame wave. Polar bears. It's a will of the wisps, okay. Wall of ice. Jeez. Guys, this is a little rough. We need a little pick-me-up, something to turn us around here. There's another foil in here. Oh, a Mirror Realm, alright. Mirror Realm, wave 3. Not too bad. It's a great hit. I think they're going for around 25. And a Mother Nature foil, okay. We got our first unique, and it is wave 3. Let's check out both. This was a great pack. Veldora, you really did it. You did it. Alright. Check that out. Beautiful. I don't think she's commanding a high dollar, but she's really looking good in the wave 3. That is for sure. Mirror Realm, I actually couldn't tell you this was wave 3 if it hit me over the head. So I really can't tell on that one. You did all right there, Veldora. You did all right. You got the Courtesan in the first one. You got the foil Mother Nature. At least we had a foil unique. I mean, guys, out of 2 boxes. Rise, good luck. That is a pack of sorcery right there, Matt. That was a great pack. All right. Come on, Rise. We got the Valks. Deep Sea. Miracle. Okay. Nothing crazy, Rise. We got the Nimbus. Little Nimbusil. And a Geo. All right, Rise. Rise, you're actually getting my cards as well. It's only a foil Daryl in there, but you're getting those too. Moving them next to each other so I remember. All right. Nah, he didn't do it on camera. He doesn't do a lot of them on camera. Once in a while, you can convince him. Golden State. All right. Good luck. That goes there. All right. So who's getting the beta topper? Someone's going to get the beta. This is the beta. And we got alpha. And it looks like the dark's getting beta. All right. Do you guys want a political discussion after this? Not of like real politics, but like sorcery politics, which is a little more messy than real politics. Do we want a political discussion after this, or save it for the market update? All right, the dark, come on. Come on. This box of alpha was not very good. Guile, beautiful. Look at that sky. Falconer. All right. There goes the Braum to California. We'll have to find out if that actually happens. All right, Dark, this is yours. And last but not least, Doug Fur gets the topper. Okay. Come on, Carchemish. Alvaline. Guys, I can honestly say this might go down as one of the worst alpha boxes I've ever had the experience or pleasure to open. That was really bad. All right, let's see. Get you something here, Doug Fur. Come on. Far East, Grey Wolves. Oh, some bats. It's nice. Very playable. Very playable. Everybody wants the bats. And you got the topper. Gotta be careful putting these in. There we go. Always gotta be a little gentle. So, if you guys watched the beta bag short, I posted a channel in the Discord to go and go post my heavy beta bags, and you can have a chance to win a Mage Tech, and I believe I'm giving away 3. So here is everybody that entered. Everyone on the wheel. No stone, no cores. Yeah, it was really a really horrendous alpha opening, guys. Really horrendous. You know, the beta bags and the whole thing, I know everybody's like, oh, why are you being so sensitive about the whole April Fool's joke? And it's like, guys, there's a lot of context behind that kind of got me, where it's just that we hadn't heard a thing for collectors to support the collector community for months, if not years. If you guys remember, April 2nd, 2024, the limited summer wave beta reprint was announced. And even Team Covenant's website says, we believe this will be limited and then that'll be it and there's not going to be any more. So it's this constant story to the collector that it's like they're willing to constantly sacrifice folks that are collecting to, you know, constantly have more product, which is fine, but you want to see some action. But anyhow, the whole thing I felt was not I mean, it'd be one thing if like you're giving attention to collectors and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden you drop that. It's like, okay, that's a little bit funny. But when the whole vibe of the community is a little off and then you drop something like that, and it's like, ugh, poor taste. So I did the beta bags. Heavy beta bags is a little short that I did on April Fool's, and just talked about Mage Tech's beta bag that you can buy and carry around all your beta in it. So at the end, I said, hey, you know, put a thing in the Discord, my heavy beta bags, for a chance to win. So here we are. We're going to spend for a chance to win. And then we'll talk for a moment about Gothic. It was just a little tone deaf. Again, like to your point, Vin, where it'd be one thing if, like, you know, there was some attention to the collecting community in the slightest bit. But it's like the whole thing was a joke. I don't know. It was just a little, it wasn't in good taste. And I do like comedy. I am a fan of comedy. I'm a fan at poking fun at myself. You guys all know that as well. But that one just wasn't, it felt kind of mean, to be honest. It felt a little mean. So I'm going to spin these. The first three get Mage Tech boxes. And you guys know I've given a lot of Mage Tech boxes away thanks to the folks at Mage Tech. They do supply us with some. Neon! Did you win because your name's so big? Nice. Neon, I might hold your Mage Tech deck box until I ship more stuff to you. So I might not ship you one right away. Because I just sent you 2 stuff. Mage Tech. So I will ship it. I'll put your name on it. But I want to get you some other things. Let me show you guys. I've been putting Wyvern together. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Ah. So, like, I've been putting some Wyvern together. And Gyarados Freak sent me some Wyvern. And I had some. So these are all the duplicates that I have. So I may pass them on. So I may send those to you too, Neon. All right. Next, my heavy beta bags. You're welcome, Neon. You're welcome. Thank Mage Tech. Mage Tech also gave me the boxes. Kazuya! All right. Nice. Congrats. You guys can't really pick colors or anything. It's just kind of what they give me. But you get a Mage Tech deck box. I think I have your address, but just shoot it to me, Kazuya. So, excellent. And when we're done here, we'll talk a moment about Gothic, because I do have one serious concern that I just want to make sure everybody understands where my thinking is with Gothic and the concern that I have. All right, one more. Good luck, everybody. Thank you all for watching, and thank you for Guinness, and thank you for going in and doing that. Tavern, and he's getting a Mage Tech. If you didn't see the video, it's not bad. I even roped my daughter into doing a little acting on the video, and it was getting a little bit intense. So you guys got the deck boxes. So yeah, Kazuya's in the league. So little bit on Gothic. Here's what the problem with Gothic's going to be, guys, and I want to make sure you all understand this. It's not up for debate. Arthurian Legends, I think, is considered by players, collectors, everybody, a weaker set. All right. I don't think that there's anybody that would say, no, Arthurian Legends are a really strong set. So they had to reprint beta because they knew Arthurian Legends can't stand on its own. So now we've had several years of the same cards. Little Philosopher, yeah, she did good. We're having several years of the same cards in alpha and beta on the market. And we're seeing the repercussions from a collectability perspective, all right? So what happens when Gothic comes out? What's going to end up happening is they're going to have to print a ton of it, whether you like it or not. Because if they short print Gothic, that means it'll blow out, it'll sell out, it'll go right to singles, and there won't be anything on the shelves for another 9 months until the next set. Arthurian Legends will still probably be in stock at that time, but Arthurian Legends won't be able to carry it through to again. So that means they're either going to have to reprint beta again, or they're going to have to reprint Gothic. So if they short print Gothic, they're going to be required to reprint it, if you follow me. Now, if they print a ton of Gothic, because they need to have it stocked in on the shelves, are they going to print it enough to survive up until the next set? Or will they be worried that they need to have more, just like with beta, in case the next set is weak? because you can't go back and print more Gothic at that point. Well, I mean, you could, but you're going to make everyone mad. You can't go back and print beta again. So the set after Gothic has to have some overlap where you're having Gothic in it for a period of time. And what this means is, if for some reason enough people join the game and they have so much growth that they sell out of what they planned for an entire year in a couple months, they're gonna have to reprint it. So my caution to everybody tonight is, the more Gothic you buy, the more they're going to outpace you in printing. They will print more to constantly make sure they're ahead of you, and it will be in perpetuity. Which means when Gothic comes out, doing the whole 100 boxes, things like that, going after some of the chase cards, there's gonna be a harder crash from the highs of Gothic than there was for Arthurian Legends, because people are going to observe it and shift faster. They're going to know that's what happened with beta. They're going to know that's what happened with Arthurian Legends, and it's going to happen at a faster rate for Gothic. So my advice is, and I mean, we all know the gameplay is amazing. There's no issue with gameplay. There's no issue with the art. I don't really care if it's late. I honestly don't really care if it's late. I just think that everyone has to be comfortable with the fact that growth might be slow and there might be not a lot of product on the shelf, right? I think if you don't have a lot of product on the shelf, that's not a bad thing, especially if you're okay with a linear pace growth that's not exponential. And by printing to grow without actions behind it for growth, it ends up diluting folks, and you end up losing the grassroots faster than you grow. So my caution is on Gothic. Again, it's going to be great, but everything that we observed states they will have Gothic on the shelves at least for 1 year, most likely 2. And if that's the case, you don't really want to start building your collection until a period of time passes in. Now, then you get into what I said earlier tonight, is what's a collection? What should be collectible? What should you focus on? What do you not focus on, right? And I think you have to start to think of, focus on the pieces that you believe that are collectible, or the pieces that you want to say, you know what, I think this is going to be something that people are going to really want. This is the one I want to hold on to. Or just be okay with the fact that everything that you collect might end up, going down 90%. Because again, they will always outpace your collecting with printing. And this happens in Magic, this happens in Flesh and Blood, this happens everywhere. The problem that we experience with Sorcery is due to the 1-year print cycle. Because of a 1-year print cycle, we're experiencing this way harder than you'd experience it with a 3-month print cycle. Because you have the ability to short print something in a 3-month cycle or a 6-month cycle way easier than you do in a year-long cycle. In a year-long cycle, you are shackled. You are shackled to have that product available for a year. And that significantly impacts the collector market. And what I've specifically been calling for, guys, and I want to be really clear with this, is that I don't think they need to have a 2, every 6 months or 2 products a year. But I think they need to explain to us how to navigate this, or what the expectations are, because if not, everybody's getting mad because the expectations they're setting in their mind aren't what actually turns into reality. And that's the issue to me. The issue is more the 1-year cycle and the ramifications of it. But if we have the 1-year cycle, and that's fine, they got to do something. Beta bags, yeah. So we got Guinness, Xuya, and Neon won the beta bags. That's my thoughts, guys. I'm not negative on it. It's a great game. It's I have no intent to stop playing. I have no intent to stop foiling my decks, right? But I might focus heavier on foiling my decks and less on foiling a whole set. That makes sense. It would absolutely be fun if it was growing quickly, Mike. That's part of what I'm saying too. Like, why am I giving out starter decks? They had a $4.5 million Kickstarter, right? I mean, why is the community left to be the ones to grow it like that? To give it, like, why are they not? Why can you not go to Sorcery's website and get a free deck sent to you with a paper playmat? Like, there's enough money to do that. Why can't you go to every LGS and just slap down 12 starter bricks in the country? Just boom, 12 starter decks, give them out. Like, if you want to print and you don't want to do any groundwork, that seems like that's a pretty easy way. Just give out free stuff. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but back in the heyday, the very early days of Magic the Gathering, they gave out starter decks to the military, to servicemen and women in the early 90s. They gave out starter decks, and that sparked a ton of growth from the military that still plays Magic today because of that. They're still enjoying the Kickstarter money. They are. But the starter decks that Magic gave away, it blossomed into this robust Magic community for the military. Now, they're a New Zealand-based company, and they may not want to support a foreign military, or maybe they do because, I think there's alliances and such, but I think the message is more than supporting the military. It's about getting folks cards in their hands, right? And how do you give it away? How do you get it into the right hands? And why is that left up to folks that didn't have a 4.5 million, Kickstarter? Why is that left up to folks paying distribution prices for a product when they can give it away at manufacturing costs, right? Plus shipping, of course. Or maybe you make people pay for shipping at least, whatever. My point is, there's a lot of ideas, and it just feels cheap. It just feels like stingy. Like you got alligator arms, and you got all the money in those deep pockets, but you got these little alligator arms that you can't go in and grab the money. And that's what it feels like. It just feels like they're being stingy. And that's the part that just makes me like a little agitated. It's just like, why are you want to grow it? You don't want to go to visit all the cons, but you also don't want to give stuff away, which is wild to me. The whole concept. I mean, everybody agree. There's a couple things the whole community agrees on. One thing is that Arthurian Legends is not a successful set. Whole community agrees on that. The other thing is the whole community believes printing starter decks to the ground. Print 1 billion of them. I don't think there's a single collector, player, investor, anybody that says no. Don't reprint those starter decks. Not a single person would say that. So if there are a few things in the community that every single person agrees on, it's just blatantly obvious at that point. Why aren't you taking, if you really want to grow, $800,000 and just give away product? Target, do some research, target where that product should be given to, and just give it away. So anyhow, what's going on, Brooks? Alligator arms trying to reach under Pudge Butcher to get some coins. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. I mean, there's just other things I don't want to mention that I feel like I've noticed in terms of a stinginess, whether it be from sponsoring and helping folks get events off the ground, whether it be to a few other things I don't want to mention, but I've noticed stinginess, and that's not good. If you want to grow, you can't be stingy. I look at shard bugs, for example, and I see the opposite, and those are the types of things too, from a leadership perspective, that are very drawing to something like shard bugs, where, I do feel there's a level of integrity there with Lewis and the leadership that I like. I mean, the game's great too. And there is something you guys have to understand too. I'm sure you all do. A grid-based game is a niche thing. Like, it's not standard for a TCG community, and you might you might not get everybody because of a grid-based game, right? So there's grid-based limitations there too, whereas Shardbugs will say is a little more of a conventional play style with some of the more modern takes on things like Lorcana and stuff. Which has a little bit of a different play perspective. But my point is that Lewis for EC CEO, guys, I mean, there's some truth to this. And there is a clickiness with the EC leadership team. They like who they like in the group, and they don't like who they don't like in the group. And it impacts, I can tell you, it impacts their decisions to spotlight folks. It impacts their decisions to engage in opportunities for events, to support events and things like that, which I'm not going to say, but it impacts it. They are really cliquey. And when you have a leadership group like that that's really cliquey, it's very dangerous because you're ostracizing a large portion of your community. And you see the ramifications from like the April Fool's joke where it's like, they're kind of poking fun of the folks that are outside of their clique, and I'm just gonna flat out say it. They're very cliquey. And a lot of the issues and challenges that we see and feel with EC are not part of the game. The game is great. The cards are great. I mean, obviously this is one of the best box opening experience, if not the best box opening experience in the trading card world. These are not the issues. The issues are how do you navigate the complexities of bringing folks into a grid-based game that you only have a once a year product in a world where the mob is fickle and people want new things every couple months. How do you bring everybody in and do that? And I haven't observed that they have those answers. And I think we're all calling them to answer that with more Becca Scott, more roadmap, all of these things, beta bags, because we're trying to observe it. I think everybody, a lot of folks that you've seen, some of the bigger ones that just kind of walked away, they were just kind of more quiet and walked away. I think the folks that you're seeing that are more vocal are folks that actually really like it and want to see change, right? That are here to stay long term. There's a lot of it's very cliquey in Sorcery. It's like, I don't know. There's something to that where you don't really see like an organization or a company be so cliquey. It's weird. It's really weird. And it's definitely, I think, going to impact their long-term growth ability. Like, they want to grow, but at the same time, they want to have this small little clique of, insiders. They want to grow, but they don't want to go have boots on the ground. They want to grow, but they don't want to give out starter decks and product like that. And to Mike's point, I saw him in the chat. Lewis is very generous. I mean, there's probably some. I'm like again. I don't want to say everything because I've talked to a lot of folks. I've over the past couple weeks. I have a very good head. Believe it or not, guys. Despite all the emotional YouTubing, I have a very good head on my shoulders of what's happening, and you'd be shocked at some of it. That's all I can say. I can't say all of it, but you'd be shocked. And I think we just need to keep pushing for more information. And it's not about trying to tell them how to run the company or try to tell them that we want to know more about Gothic or we want to know this or it's just like, tell them that like we need to understand better because it's just trying to find an understanding because it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. How do you want the community to grow the game when the community doesn't know what they're doing? Like we don't know what you need us to do. It doesn't make any sense. Eric is a hardcore collector and it is a weird pivot, right? So like you see in the opening video or the opening music concert, I had the little thing about Eric posting about the 1,000 likes per box, where it's like he is a collector and maybe he's thinking about collecting from a longer term perspective. But you have to remember the expectation and the level of expectation that was set with Alpha was that this stuff is collectible today, right? And if that expectation changed, there should be some sort of a vision shared with, here's what we're doing, here's how we're growing, here's how we're going to bring players in. And the amount of communication that we see doesn't lead up to that. But it's just, yeah, it's a weird pivot. It's a very weird pivot. But that's my caution. I wanted to tell you guys about Gothic, because my caution with Gothic is, don't think it's going to vanish in 3 months. Gothic will be there for a long time, because if it's not, Arthurian Legends can't be the one that pick up the slack. Arthurian Legends will be around. Arthurian Legends will still be there for you to go buy from Team Covenant, from anywhere else. It's not going anywhere, right? If anybody tells you Arthurian Legends is going out of stock anytime soon, they're lying to you. Arthurian Legends will be around, but it won't be able to carry the torch for sorcery. It has to be Gothic. So if you all go out and buy 300,000 boxes of Gothic in 1 month, 100 boxes a piece, don't go do that. All that will happen is it'll trigger a reprint. That's all that's going to happen. You're going to trigger yourself to be reprinted. So don't do it. I'm telling you. It's going to be out. It's going to be available. And if it's not, you'll get hit. So, Cho, what are you saying? AL isn't going anywhere for at least 2 more years. At least, in my opinion. In my opinion, you might still see it in Team Covenant for more than that, in my opinion. The set should be, these sets shouldn't be out of stock. It makes sense. No, Jason, it does make sense. They can't be out of stock because, again, if you're not okay with an out of stock, then there are ramifications to the collector community with that. That tells the collector community that this is no longer a scarce commodity, that there's no scarcity to be had with sorcery, and therefore, there's no rush. Take your time. And we have observed that sorcery and Eric's Heroes is not okay with having product out of stock. I think it's perfectly fine. Again, I think I told you guys this story. I actually joined Stu. I don't know if Stu's here. Me and Stu got into sorcery in the summer of 2023, the bleak summer of 2023, and we had to buy bulk and cards on eBay because there was no TCG player at the time. There was no alpha boxes, obviously, and beta was obviously not out yet and running late. So now you have TCG player. You can go buy all the singles you want. The only reason you really need, in my opinion, product is for draft, for limited type of play, and for, somebody that's not going to get into the game unless they have a box to crack. Right? But it's not a fun experience when you pay $130 for a box and there's only $10 worth of value inside. It's not a fun experience when Sean, mentioned in the chat earlier that he goes and buys a box of Arthurian Legends and there's $30 worth of value inside. I mean, you're having product on the shelf, but is that the right experience that you want folks to have? Because it's not scarce and there's just not enough growth to be able to absorb all the printing. And I don't think there's anything wrong with folks buying singles. I think making decks and doing things like that are just fine. I do think product should be in stock for a period of time, but I also think that if it sells out and it goes out real fast, it goes out real fast. And there's boxes on the secondary market, right? And I think that's healthy. If that doesn't happen to it, now obviously you can't like short print it like to death and nobody gets any, but like printing a reasonable amount. And if the set is successful and it goes out, it goes out. If the set's not successful and it stays around, it stays around. Let's see what you guys are saying here. You just have 10,000 players to trade with no sealed available. It always has been the case. A sales product is worth less when you open it on average. Yeah, no. I mean, if you're buying MSRP, you should expect for product to go down when you open it, right? That's very much the case. But you shouldn't expect it to be zero, right? I think expecting it to be 0 or to be really, really like 70% of what you open is just like, that's just a bad experience. Yeah, we want events. We want constructed events. We want, like I said, I want to hand out decks to people. Give starter deck bricks out. Give individual decks out. You know, you could have made something like you know, we'll call a little more custom decks or something like a pre-constructed decks that were different than the original pre-cons. Like you could have done something real interesting with some of that too. Yeah, but the fact of the matter is I don't think that having product on the shelf at the current strategy is going to grow the population of players or people involved with the game more than they're losing at the moment from folks walking away. I think that what's happening is you're seeing one step forward and 2 step backwards. You're seeing for every one person that enters, 2 folks are leaving. And maybe some will come back in Gothic, but some that feel like, you know, they got kind of scammed, should I say, they won't be back. And I can tell you, you know, I think there were a lot of same feelings around the Monarch days of Flesh and Blood, you know, that we're feeling right now with the Arthurian Legend days, where a lot of folks left Flesh and Blood in the Monarch times and didn't come back. And I think LSS was okay with that. They were willing to do that sacrifice at that point in time in the game. And all I'm warning you guys is just to be mindful that from a collecting perspective, because we do a lot of collecting, right? I'm somebody that collects right along with you. It's kind of a strange thing. Have you ever gone on to Whatnot, okay, and watched a Pokemon opening, and people are buying their own packs in the openings? That's a really this phenomenon of me buying into these things with you guys is bizarre. this is not a typical type. If you go on and you see some of the larger Magic, I guess Wubby does. Wubby will. He can't help himself. Nowhere to that level. But I think that's the only one that I've ever seen that will buy their own opening. And this is really like, you know, a collector channel. You know, I do play. You guys out there know, a lot of you go the Feisty Goblin with me and play on Sundays, and I'm not very good. You know what I mean? I can pull out a win once in a while, right? But you know, I'm not like really good, but I like to play. It's fun. It's an aspect of it. But the channel and the content, really, this is based around collecting and valuing and saying, what are the hot pulls that we've got going on right now? And, you know, putting your collection together, pulling curios. Like that's what we are, that's what we're here for. And to me, it's a very important part of the sorcery community that, quite frankly, I think is worth fighting for. And that's what I've been doing. And, you know it's gotten some folks upset and stuff, but you can enforce map, and LSS does. If you sell a product under map and you're a store that can get map from distribution, you'll get a phone call in 2 days and you'll get banned. LSS will ban you. You will no longer get Flesh and Blood. There's a lot of folks that are banned, and you try to sell a promo. Go out and try to sell a promo that you get for a Flesh and Blood, and like one of those gem packs. What are they? I don't know. I haven't gotten into that side of the play yet. You try to sell a promo, you got a phone call in 2 days to pull it down at your band. So you can enforce it, but you have to have exactly. Noble said it right. You can enforce it if you have the leverage with distribution. And the fact of the matter is, distribution doesn't want to sit on product that's not moving. So if they have a store that wants to buy it, and EC is saying, no, you can't sell it to that store, distribution's like, oh, well, we got to get rid of this stuff. So LSS is a little bit different, where at this point, you know, they're very good at managing a ban list and to prevent folks from selling under map. I mean, if you try to sell under map and you know somebody screenshot, you're done. That's it. So again, I feel that a lot of us represent the collector community, and you know, I'm seeing signs of weakness and cracks in the collector community that I think that can be easily avoided with a little bit of love and communication. And I'm just trying to stir some things up just to try to get a little bit of love from him. Yeah, Rudy violates map all the time, and let me tell you, he's getting it from he can't be getting it unless he's getting it direct. I don't know. I honestly don't know where he's getting it from, but I would assume he's getting it from distribution. But I don't know. I don't know, guys. I also grow weary of pushing because there's a stubbornness with Eric's Curiosa too, where despite all the feedback, like I'm going to give you guys one last example for the night. It's 9:26, so I've been going on this tangent for 26 minutes now. One more example for the night. Like, let's say I do handyman work for a house down the street. All right. And I go in and install a light fixture. All right. And they're not happy with the job of the light fixture. Am I just able to say, you don't understand the vision? Sorry, I'm not fixing it. You don't get the vision. No, I'm not fixing your fixture. It's done correctly. No, you're going to either get a really unhappy customer that's never going to order from you again, or you even might get sued. So you're going to try to go back and fix the light fixture. And, with the customer ask questions and stuff like that, even if you don't really want to answer it, if you don't answer it in a way that it satisfies the customer, your customer's going to call a different handyman. I don't know. I don't think it's a terrible analogy. I mean, a customer is a customer. We're all customers of Eric's Curiosa, and we're just asking for, as purchasers of the product, we're just asking for some answers to some pretty basic questions. This is a short stream. I have Matt, there was a time I laid flooring. I've done side jobs for electric. I've done all kinds of weird handyman type things too, as side stuff. I've done flooring at houses. Yeah, I've done electric jobs. I've never really done anything. A couple plumbing, like garbage disposal, things like that. I won't really do like real plumbing. Deck work, things like that I've done. But my point is that there's, you as a business always have a boss, no matter if you're in business for yourself or if you're in business where you work at a corporation. Your boss is the person that pays you. And at some point, that $4.5 million, if those pockets are only so deep and those little alligator arms are only so short, it is defining good handyman is difficult. It is. He just lays wood at the YMCA. But you have to understand, a lot of folks have been saying that I have no right to ask for this stuff from Eric's Curiosa, from what's the vision, what's the roadmap, how are you gonna handle Gothic given the 1 year lull and 1 year product cycle, and I don't have business asking it, and I firmly believe I do have business asking it. There's me as a customer and supporting a large collector community, like I support you guys too. I owe it to you guys to try to push for these answers. You guys are my customer. I see it as you guys are saying, hey, we're trusting this guy as our collectible guy and opening packs with us. And to a degree, I feel I represent you. And I feel that by going and asking for those things from a company that we all spend a lot of money with isn't unreasonable. I don't think it's unreasonable. And to get the kind of blowback that we do from the company, just like, how dare you ask this question? It's like, like Morrigan or something from Arthurian Legends comes to life. Like, how dare you? How dare you? I am asking for you guys too. And again, you're my customers. And I feel if these types of things aren't answered, I'm doing my customers a disservice. Because I am selling you guys. I'm not here to sell you a product to flip, right? I'm not saying anything. When we do openings, I collect a lot of it. Like a lot of this stuff, I'm not over here. Now, some of it I'll sell or stuff like that if I have duplicates, but I'm collecting it right along with you. And it's one thing if you're getting it in and you flip it out the door immediately. But it's another thing if you get it in and you hold it, right? It's a different feel. Customers seem to really not have that much purchasing power since they already paid for the service via Kickstarter. Yeah, customers paid for a card game, Eric provided it. Slipshot or no. And you're right. And at some point, if the course isn't corrected and that money starts running dry, if folks aren't buying, or if it's overprinted and their expenses exceed revenue, at some point their attitude will have to cave. If they don't have enough ammunition or money in the coffers at some point. And it's shocking because, like I said, it's not like, hey, here's Eric's vision, here's what we're doing. It's just like a blatant, we're not answering you, period. That's it. And it's just like this. Even that art thing that Eric posted is, I know people were messaging Eric that night. So he posted it, night for us, afternoon, evening for him, morning. Matt, what time is it there? It was 12:53 a.m. here. And there were some folks messaging him saying, hey, can you please stop the cryptic messages and just, clearly just let us know what's going on, just in the most basic way that you can, that can help answer some questions. And the response was that chart. So it's like, it doesn't feel genuine. It just doesn't feel genuine. And when you have the clickiness going on, you have some of that toxicity of the clickiness, we'll say. You have when you have those types of things that happen from it, it doesn't feel good. 4 p.m. Okay, 4 p.m. Matt, New Zealand time. Yeah, so it would be in the evening then. Kendrick Lamar and Drake. I mean, I honestly think the hardest thing for me to digest in this whole situation is that with a little communication and just like love, the whole thing is cleared up. Like nobody's like, I think you have a very understanding community in Sorcery. I don't think anybody's here like, I must have a set every 4 months, Simon. Like there's nobody's doing that. I think if people said, hey, if you tell us what the plan is, we'll try to follow it. We'll go down the path with you. But when it feels like that you're clicky and you're kind of getting ignored and all this other stuff, and you're observing what's happening with the market, you're observing what's happening with Arthurian legends, and obviously all the things circulating, it's concerning. It just doesn't feel good. We do need a song instead of Eric doing cryptic communication. They should just be like Valve, permanently silent until they have ready to release a product. Maybe I'm pretty sure EC and his team are focusing on Gothic completed. Anything else is nice to have. But like Sean, so like why not say that? Why not come out and say, look, we're spending our time completely on Gothic. We feel as of now it's on time. We realize that, we had to make some choices to print, and the expectations that we have to print are this going forward, so we're clear for everybody. This is our expectation for Gothic. And I think it's a matter of setting the expectations. Just setting the expectation, Sean. I mean, even Sean, I think you asked me today, like, hey, what's going on? Are we still doing the opening tonight at 8:00? Right? Because I didn't post anything. So it just breeds uncertainty. It's a very similar thing, Well, I mean, Sean, when you're in business though too, and you're commanding that kind of money from your customers, you better hire someone that can make a roadmap. If you can't hire somebody that can follow a project plan, it's like, it's kind of the same way. You got to have a project. And that goes back to another thing. I do think Eric's Curiosa could really benefit from a solid project manager. I don't know if there is a dedicated project man. I think Simon's doing a lot of it, but I think maybe it makes sense to have a really good dedicated project manager, program manager, in on the team. But there's again, it's concerning because when I look down the path of Gothic, there's only one road we're going to go on, and that road is Gothic's going to be sitting on the shelves for a year or two, and despite how fast folks rip it, is just going to be how many singles are on the market. That's pretty much about it. The thing Eric's Curious is basically not a business. Yeah, right. No, they're not acting like a business. They're acting like it's a personal project that we have the pleasure to be along with the ride, Yeah, they act like it's his hobby. It's his hobby, and that hobby is going to happen whether or not we're here. So sit down, shut up, and you're either going to stay on the bus or you're getting off the bus. And if that's the case, just say it. Just say, look, guys, we feel that we don't have to communicate anything like this. We feel like this is Eric's project. If, we're not going to set that expectation that we ever will. And if you want off the bus, get off the bus. And then it's done. Then it's done, just say it. If that's the case, that's the case. And, I think everybody will just be like, and then you'll see a couple folks stand up and get off, and it's just, but, I mean, we're enjoying the ride, but again, Sean, a lot of folks here that are watching tonight, we've cracked hundreds of boxes each. Right? And this is a strange phenomenon in cards where you have collectors cracking hundreds of boxes, not flippers, right? Collectors. And this is because of an expectation that they set. This isn't what I'm talking about isn't for somebody that buys, a couple boxes here or there, or might put together, a small collection of cards. I'm talking to the completionist that is literally paying the iron price to rip all their pulls. Let's see what you say there, Noble. Thing is, they don't have to say it. Simon sort of did during the interview we did with Louis. Yeah, you're right. When they were talking about the vision and how they have the right to change it if they want. Yeah, no, you're right. And I think they're seeing the consequences of it. I mean, they don't have to. No, which is good. And Sean, everybody's got, different tolerance and things like that, right? But I think it's about everybody having the right expectation of doing that. I think there's been a lot of, from the beginning, selling of the expectation to the folks that the product is scarce and that it's incredibly, all aspects of it are collectible. And we're learning as time goes by that the product's not scarce. It's not scarce at all. And there may not be as many facets of collectability in current state as we thought there were. Similarly, like I said, to the Arabian Nights comparison, where there's a couple really, really collectible cards in Arabian Nights, and there's a lot of cards that are like, yeah, they're pretty collectible, but it's not like, you could put together close to a complete set of Arabian Nights for a reasonable price without those big ones, right? Yeah, Noble's saying, to be fair, I don't think it's a good way to run a company, just laying it out there and how little power any of us have to. No, that's a good point. It's a good point. I agree with you, Noble. I don't think that we will be able to influence or even get, and, some folks are out there saying we need them to change, right? I'm not trying to say we need them to change. All I'm saying is that we need to have some understanding as to what they're doing and their motives and the plan and expectation. I just want to make sure I understand what they're doing. I'm not trying to change what they're doing, which it's a little bit different, but they don't even want me to understand what they're doing. They don't even want that. They don't want that understanding. But yeah, I don't think it's a good way to run the company either. But I also think that by you saying that, it's very important to look down the road to Gothic and to say, what does Gothic look like? And in terms of how will I be collecting Gothic you know, what's my approach to sorcery in this new paradigm? And that's, you know, I think that's what this is, what we're going to come out of here is that. What's the new paradigm for collectability and sorcery that we've, you know, kind of come up with ourselves from a collectability and expectation perspective. But yeah, if people pay $3+ million to fund a hobby, if it's a business, customers want information. Yeah, it's a great point. You know, and I almost feel like Eric's bitter with the fact that we want the information, which is also not good, right? So like, I get a sense that he's like agitated that people want the information. And I don't know that that's the right way to approach that. You know, I think when you run a company, you got to be inclusive to the sides and the viewpoints that you might not necessarily agree with, you know? It is, yeah, Noble. It's very hard to plan. And it's not like we're trying to get an unfair advantage, right? It's just that we're trying to get what the real expectation is, because the expectation is that it's a collectible and that it's all collectible. But if that's not what the real reality is, you know, it's a paradigm shift, because that's what sorcery's been, you know? It'll be interesting to see how Gothic on how collectors act. It will. I mean, I'm going to shift in Gothic. I mean, to be completely transparent with you guys, I'm shifting to key foils and curios. That's kind of my path for collectability with sorcery. I am approaching it the same way as vintage sets of Magic, not alpha beta. I'm approaching it as there are key pieces in the set, and I might not need to be a completionist. And the completionist aspect will burn me. You know, I can put a complete set together 2 years after the fact and put it together at a fraction of the price than I would on day. I can wait. I have all the time in the world. LSS turned it around. So the thing is, this is a really interesting point, Jason. How did LSS do it? So they had Monarch came out, something like 125,000 boxes, flooded the market. There's still product out there today, $40 a box for Monarch, right? They had a larger player base, and they had a plan to gain and have player growth. They really did have a solid plan. If you go back and look at that time period and talk to folks in LGSs that were involved in that time, Worry is a good one. If you're on my Discord, if you talk to Worry, he's very, very knowledgeable about like that time period and things like that too, where they had a plan. And you don't see that plan for sorcery, right? The issue we have is that you know, we're observing almost a carbon copy situation of early LSS, which almost destroyed them, but you're not seeing the same intent. Yeah, they did. They cracked down on evil distributors. They lowered print runs. They stopped the market manipulation. I mean, LSS was really, you know, they had to work for it, right? Because it almost did them in. It almost did them in. And I think, you know, I want to make sure. So like the witches, for the foil witches that Vin pulled, the foil rings, the foil cores, the foil stones, these things will always be collectible. You know, yeah, to your point, they got to learn from it, but either they're going to learn or it's going to kill them. And I don't think any of us want to see that happen. Yeah. First edition and 181,000 unlimited edition. It's wild. It's wild. But again, you know, they have to learn, or it can also do them in, right? Because once you're in that death spiral and you start losing people, there can come a point too where you grow so big that all of a sudden you start losing folks. And then you start losing folks at a faster rate than you can. It's like I was saying before, it's like expansion of the universe, how at the end of the universe, everything will be cold because all the energy expands out from it. It's the same type of a way. It's death through too great of expansion. But yeah, so let's see, high end we'll focus on real art. Yeah, so the things I'm collecting, I have all my artwork, I have all my APs, all of my altars, I have all the curios, I have all of my Alchemy 9 sets, everything like that, and then foil rings, foil witches, foil four waters, foil trilands. Like, these are the things of Arthurian legends that are collectible. They're going to hold value, and they'll probably over a long period of time go up in value. The elites, the non-valley elites and things like that, they might hold their value, or most likely they'll probably go way less, right? I think you're going to see a shift in collecting from, and a lot of folks were collecting to complete sets and to do that type of thing. I think you're going to see in the short term a shift towards the high dollar cards. And I think you'll see some upward pressure on those high cards. So for example, for Alpha, the foil Frazettas, those will always be collectible. Now everybody's going to say Alpha is always going to be collectible. We could debate that part too. The foil Frazettas in Alpha are a collectible piece. So like, I think you're going to see if the folks that stay for the long term are going to shift their collections and shift their focus to those main collectible pieces, right? I don't think you're going to see this completionist mentality in the future. It's not sustainable unless you complete years after the fact. So like, if you go to complete Arthurian Legends this time next year, that's probably a good time to put an Arthurian Legends foil set together this time next year. Maybe 2 years, right? But the paradigm that we were operating under, a paradigm I was operating under, was that there's a chance this could go out of stock within the year. There's a chance that in the first 6 months it could sell out, and that's it. And the paradigm I was operating under was that I thought they'd be okay with not having product for a couple months. And that's not the case. They're not okay with that, and we're observing it. Yeah, the Noble Commission doesn't start incantation warning wizards. Yeah, I think the art piece is very collectible. Obviously art's going to have a less liquidity, right? So if you ever need to sell your collection for a emergency or something like that, like Lord of Itza was talking about the one day, it's very hard to sell that quickly. But I think like when you purchase that, you have to purchase that under that understanding that it's not really a liquid type of a thing. You buy some Magic revised lands and things like that, and dual lands, those things are as liquid as cash. Right? I could, within a second, as we're talking here, I could go list I could go list any one of the dual lands, revised dual lands, and boom, turn it into cash within about 30 seconds. Right? There's a high liquidity in some of the Magic pieces, but in Sorcery, you have to understand it's a very low liquidity. And we're not talking about investment. We're just talking about exiting a collection if you have an emergency, right? Because to Itza's point, when you buy a collection, you want it to hold its value, right? That's part of the things of a collection. You don't want to keep getting punched in the face and watching your collection fall in value. That's never a fun thing, but it doesn't make you a Timmy either. It doesn't make you a Timmy saying, I'm going to go buy Sorcery and 10x my money. Like nobody's saying that here. Like it's never been a thing on this channel. Let's go rip some Alpha and 10x our money. It's just like, let's go rip some Alpha and hope we break even. So let's see what you guys are saying. Double brick and mortar. Yeah, the double dubs will always keep these sets collectible. Yeah. I mean, that's my thoughts, guys. I don't know that there's much of a sense in doing more market videos because, to be honest, I just drone on the same topic. And, to me, I see how the story's going. The story's going one way. Gothic's going to be in print for 2 years. Or they're going to print enough Gothic for 2 years. No, you just got into Sorcery. So you have to understand, Sorcery is a great game. Sorcery is a great, the art on it's amazing. The opening experience is amazing, Night Flux. The thing you have to understand with Sorcery is that the paradigm that we had originally was that you buy it and it holds its value because it's scarce. What we're observing is that you shouldn't operate that way. You should buy, a collection or something like that, or your decks, and wait until the right time down the road after things have been out for quite some time. Don't FOMO a set. That's pretty much what I'm saying here tonight, guys. Don't go FOMO and say, I got to go hurry up because Arthurian Legends is going to be out of stock tomorrow, so I got to go buy up all the cases. Do not do that, because I'm telling you, we'll sit here in a year from now and Arthurian Legends will still be in stock. So that's what I'm telling you. I'm saying if you're collecting, or if you're ripping boxes for the purpose of building a collection, understand the fact that this product is probably going to be available for a long time. The gameplay is great. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not stopping my collection. I'm just shifting my mindset on what I'm collecting, because I'm changing, from, a hoarder mentality to, I need to focus, right? Focus on it. What are you saying, guys? This isn't too much emotion around it. We all felt, yeah, I mean, that's a great point, Noble. It's like falling in love and then feel like backstabbed. I mean, it's very true. It just feels like they originally came out with alpha, and the expectation and the paradigm was that it's so collectible, and that when beta comes out, the expectation is okay, if enough boxes are open, that's it, it's going to sell out and people are going to go get singles and that's it, it's collectible. And that's not the case. When AL goes out of print, I explode as well. I mean, the thing about AL is, don't assume that they need to go print more. Assume that they have enough printed of AL already. You got to make your assumption that way. Don't assume. At this point, they were burned so many times on beta from going back to the print run that they probably said to themselves, you know what? Let's print enough Arthurian Legends that we never have to have another reprint announcement again. And I guarantee you that's what happened. So you're twofold there. One is they printed enough so they would never have to do that. And the second is people didn't really think it was successful, so people aren't really cracking it like they crack beta. And it's causing there to be even more left in the market. Yeah, Gilded. So the thing, though, is, Noble, is even now, is what you're saying too high, right? And that's where you have to start shifting and saying, if you wait a year, Noble, will the Gildeds be 250 or 300? Maybe. Because even now, if you start I'm going to start going to put my collection together of the Gildeds, is it too soon, even now, to go do that? And I believe it might be. I think it's too soon. I think, when Gothic comes out, Arthurian Legends will still be available, and people will be trying to offload their Arthurian Legends to fund their purchases of Gothic boxes. And when that happens, you're going to see it go further. So, assuming Arthurian Legends will still be in print and still available, maybe, Noble, you could be right. You could be right. The hard part for me is I'm not observing. So when I'm putting these in, that's really the story behind this, guys, is like, I want to collect the Gildeds just like you, Noble. But we're only debating when is the time to do it, right? We're trying to all, as collectors, maximize the dollars that we can spend to get the most amount of collectible stuff, right? And is this the time, or is it in a year? And that's what we're really debating. We're not debating whether or not a gilded card is a fun collectible to have. It's just a matter of, if you buy it today and you got $1,500, you can buy 3 of them. Or next year, if that same $1,500, can you buy 5 of them? Or can you buy 1 of them? And that's the debate. You know, it's not about, from a collector perspective, it's how much are you able to buy. It's not, from an investor perspective, it's about how much are you able to sell. What are you guys saying? Don't think about buying more until you need to play. Unless yeah, exactly, Cal. Unless distribution is out, don't buy more, because we haven't seen the growth in the player base. So we know there's not a lot of folks out there buying new Arthurian Legends. Therefore, there's no indicator to me to believe there's that shift or leveling yet. That's where I'm at. This is all about the point. I'm going to turn my mic and figure out the lighting. Yeah, AO requires a long position and a long risk tolerance. Exactly. The hard pill to swallow right now if you're an online retailer or content creator and trying to focus on keeping food on the table. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. And I think if we would have looked Noble back at last October, I didn't expect Arthurian Legends to still be around right now. I thought it would be gone. And I thought they were printing beta because Arthurian Legends, they were expecting it to sell out by then. And now I'm really seeing that's not the case. And that's why I really started questioning things probably about 2 months ago, right around that time, because I really thought that we would see the end of Arthurian Legends, and we haven't. And that was the concerning point to me. I do think that if Arthurian Legends would have gone out of stock last month, we would all be talking completely different about everything right now. You know, beta would hit the stores. Folks would be going back to get beta. Arthurian Legends would be over. You'd be trying to go grab your singles and stuff like that. Yeah, the curios, I mean, here's the problem, guys. It depends on how much the print runs are, because let's say you think the print run of Arthurian Legends is 100,000. All right, 100,000 means there's about 56 of every Gilded Knight and Curio. And you have to ask yourself the question, are there 56 people collecting those? All right. Now the question becomes, what if there's 200 boxes of Arthurian Legends? Are there 112 people collecting them? And when you try to assign scarcity, rarity, desirability, all of these things that collectors try to assign, you know, when you look at how many people are going after something, maybe if there's only 80 people going after it and there's 112 available, there's enough for everyone. It should be a couple bucks, right? It shouldn't be that high. The dollar value is driven from, you know, scarcity, desirability, and demand relative to the supply of folks interested too. So, yeah, I mean, I think we'd be in a different position now if Arthurian Legends went out of stock, but it's clear Arthurian Legends isn't going anywhere. Yeah, Wyvern. A lot of people are collecting Wyvern. So, like, even if you aren't putting together a whole, like, curio set like I am, everyone's collecting Wyvern. So Wyvern's very collectible. Everyone wants one. Everyone's willing to pay for one. But again, this further feeds the mentality that certain things will be collectible even within curios. Certain curios are collectible, not all the curios. Certain foils are collectible, not all the foils. Certain non-foils are collectible. Whereas, you know, a lot of us have been set completionists. And, you know, I'll probably shift from that behavior. At least, you know, I'll wait to do a set completionist on Gothic for 2 years, and then I'll do it. Yeah, Unladen and Wyvern, yeah. But that's all I got, guys. That's my thoughts. That's my thoughts on Gothic. And like I said, I don't know that I'm going to be doing many more market update videos. We have a lot more stuff to move into with shard bugs, with some Magic Final Fantasy stuff coming up. I might even get into some Flesh and Blood openings and things like that. We're still going to do box breaks. I have that case that friend of the channel sent me on consignment, so we got plenty of alpha to do. I'll have beta if I get more in stock, but I'm not going to charge you guys for beta. Like, I'd rather us do alpha at that point. So there's a lot of stuff to do on the channel. We got our mage techs here, and we still have the bounties. We didn't hit anything tonight, guys. Didn't hit anything. So anyhow, I've been rambling on for an hour, so thanks for sticking with me. And it was fun. Again, thanks for doing this every Friday. It's a blast to hang out and crack this. So again, be careful with Gothic, be careful with Arthurian Legends. Understand that it's going to be around, it's going to be available, and don't FOMO a collection. You know, that's my best advice. And then with that, we'll talk to you guys next week. Maybe sooner than that.